My Civic was stolen, but I got it back mostly. I've been doing a lot of stuff to this car in the past couple videos, and I just wanted to share how I got here. Has your Honda been stolen before? Please share down in the comments your guys' stories. So let me take you back to my first Civic. I had the most fun with that car that I've ever had with any car. I'd put skunk 2 suspension on it. I swapped for the close gear ratio transmission, just a couple upgrades, and I was actually able to compete in Autocross, and it was awesome. I've got a buddy that I'll be rolling up with this month that I was able to race against, which just makes it all the more fun, and that car was awesome. Until one night when I'm staying at a friend's house, I wake up in the morning to see that my car is just not there at all. It's gone.
They're going to take you.
I report it stolen, and at midnight that night I get a call that it had been located. It ended up getting in a police chase and then crashed into someone's chain link fence, like those short chain link fences that are in front of people's yards, and the windshield wipers were still like going when I got into it, and the police were like, well, here's your car. I drove it home and it's like crooked as heck. That car was completely totaled. If you guys have had your Honda stolen before and you dumped a ton of money into them, you probably know that your insurance isn't going to give you back what you have in it, and they probably don't value a 90s Honda the same way that you or I might. After that happened, I kind of stayed out of racing. It just took so long to get the car to the level that it was at, and then for all to be ripped away, I just kind of stayed away from 5th gens in general. Fast forward, I'm in an 8th gen sedan SI, and I love sedans, so I finally get the bug to start modifying my car again. I put some Motegi wheels on it. I started accumulating parts for the cable clutch conversion. If you know, the clutch master cylinder does have some problems on those years. So I started crewing parts for it, and then someone ran a red light, and it was an SUV. So that was the end of that car, completely totaled it. I was actually lucky that there was cameras at the intersection because I didn't have a dash cam and it showed the car running the red light. So that car's gone, and I just had decided that I missed my 5th gen too much. So I went out looking for another one, and I didn't really even care what model it was. If it was a DX, an LX, a sedan, a coupe, a hatch. I just wanted the most original, clean car, just so I could have a blank canvas, and that's when I found the car right behind me. It was so stock and original that I just enjoyed driving it for a while. It was my daily. I just really liked being back in a 90s Honda. There's just something about them. So fast forward, I'm taking some photography classes at a community college, which actually is helping with the content I'm shooting for this channel now. And one day I come out of class and I don't see my car where I thought I parked it. It's such a big parking lot at the college, and I'm looking all around. I'm like, where's my car?
Where's your car, dude?
And I finally come to the realization that it's just not there. I report it stolen, and fortunately, the next day, they actually find my car parked in front of a motel. And by some miracle, the car is still in one piece. It actually starts right up. I start to drive it around again, and almost immediately the head gasket blows. And I can pretty much assume that in the short time that those people had it, that they drove it really hard. But I didn't care. The car was mostly still in one piece. It wasn't drivable, but it almost got sucked into the black hole that all stolen Civics get sucked into, and somehow it got spit back out. So for me, I just saw this as an opportunity to get my car back on the road. I actually got this one back, and it's fixable. This whole time, my friend still goes to autocross events. He's still competing. He now has a 1st gen Miata that looks freaking sick. The car is very original. It's got black interior, black paint, original paint, black hardtop, which is, from what I understand, hard to find for those now. So shout out to Sean, that car is awesome. And I'm going with him to these events just because I like being out there seeing the cars. When I get mine back, I'm like, you know what? It was original, and it almost made me not want to modify it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a good daily driver, but now that the engine is blown, maybe it's time to modify this and get back out there. So I let it sit while I ordered parts. I saved my pennies, and I found a nice D16 Z6 with a transmission and an ECU that I swapped in there. I also put in an Xcity clutch before I swapped it in. I installed skunk 2 coilovers and a B&M short shifter, and swapped out my 13-inch steelies for some work carving starks. And then the bearing starts to go out. So the car sits again and I order more parts for this thing. And that kind of brings us up to date with where these videos have been. I installed the coil bearings, the master cylinder, the proportioning valve, the Willwood calipers, the Buddy Club extended ball joint, the braided brake line. I just signed up for the Autocross event, so I'm committed. I just have to finish installing the motor mounts and the rear trailing arms, and I should be good to go. But that's why I'm so excited for this event to happen, because in my mind, it's been a long time coming. It just makes it so much more fun when you have a friend to actually go out and compete against and compare your times with, especially when they're cars that have similar power ratings. And if anything, I'll say that my car getting stolen was almost the extra push I needed to modify it. I just want to encourage you guys, whatever you have the most fun doing with your car, just to keep doing it. And if you have a project going, just to keep it going. All right, guys, have a nice day.